This video is on the Colt 6720R, the issue with the rail system that wobbles. As you can see, if you come closer, there is a slight tendency for the rail to move back and forth. It's about a millimeter wobble. I want to show you why that happens. First, we're going to make sure the weapon is cleared. Remove the magazine. Then we're going to take down the upper receiver. First, push out on the rear pin. Pull this out. Pull that out on the other side. Push the front takedown pin. And pull this out. Thus taking the lower receiver and removing it from the upper receiver. Then what you're going to need to do is have a 9/32 bit on you, so that you can take these 5 hex screws. But before you do that, you're going to need to remove your rail covers if you have. And I'll show you why in a second. You do not need to remove the bottom or the top rail cover. If you look closely at the rail, there are slots where the bottom rail locks into place with the upper rail. So what we're going to do is start disassembling it. First, take out your bottom rail nut. Then push forward until the notches line up and pull out. Next, remove the remaining 4 nuts. Then you can remove the lower attachment piece. And you can see, turn the rail over, just lift up, and it should pop right off. And that's your rail system removal. The tendency for the rail to wobble back and forth is because this barrel nut here, which looks like, I guess you can see it looks kind of like a gear. This, as you lube up your weapon, will notice you have this slick tendency on the surface. If you look on the lower retaining portion of the rail, you'll notice that there's all this lubrication. What that lubrication causes is the rail is now going to be have that slick tendency, therefore causing it to move side to side. So what I recommend is you take a rag, get some of this. This is carb cleaner, brake cleaner, non-chlorinated, so that you can use it on, safe to use on plastics, won't corrode it. or eat away at the finish. You can get this at anywhere, auto parts store. Just give it a quick spray. And right away you can see that oil just disappearing. This is going to leave it with a nice dry surface. You don't need to have oil on this area, really. The other thing you want to do is spray down this lower part and the upper portion. Let those dry for about a minute. Then you can replace everything back in the same order you took it apart. Start with the upper receiver, upper rail, I mean. Place your lower rail attachment. Make sure that the lower rail attachment portion has these notches which face towards the upper receiver. When you tighten down your locking these nuts, try to use a crisscross pattern. Do not tighten them all the way down at first. Just finger tight the first time. If you have a rail attachment for the upper portion, you can put that on now to keep it lined up and hold it in tight in place while you tighten this down. So then go back and tighten each one down in that crisscross pattern. Try not to torque it down too much. I believe this rail is made out of aluminum or some soft material. Right away you should notice that it is locked in a lot tighter. The wobble is negligible at this point, but still wobbles. I will show you the final portion to lock this down pretty much, not permanently, but much more effectively. Replace your lower rail, slide it in, drop your last nut in, and tighten it down. You can then replace your rail covers if you have. And you can then reassemble your lower receiver to the upper receiver. Last thing that I like to do to snug this down really tight is you can pick up one of these RSA sling attachments from Magpul. They're about 30 bucks, but it's going to give you that solid lockdown on the rail that you need, and then it's going to look nice as well. So all you need to do is drop that there like this, attach that like this. So this is the portion between your upper receiver rail and the quad rail that you have, and then all you're going to do is tighten it down. Okay, so this is a really low profile way to lock down your upper rail to your upper receiver, and you can use it as a sling attachment for anything. It's not going to interfere with a lot of things, scope, optics, whatever you have, or if you have a red dot already, you can use that instead. It's going to give you that really solid, I mean, you can tell, I mean, I'm flexing this, but that rail is not moving at all. Okay, and that's the end. That's all you have to do, and hope it helps.